Morning and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay on this morning. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm. Okay, so like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those great things. Okay, I wanted to talk about um the plan was to have Cornelius Smith on a live young doll, then treat him like he was a crackhead, but instead he ended up cracking the case. And the little slick thing that Straight Drop's attorney did. Okay, of course we know that Cornelius Smith got on the stand yesterday and basically told everything. And I do believe that he was telling the truth because he, according to him, Hernandez Govan had already told everything. So he may as well just tell it the way that it was. And I do believe that he told it the way that it was and implicated Hernandez Govan to be in any more than what he had told the prosecutors and the police department. Now, I do believe that there were some people that at this point Cornelius has omitted because I thought about when he said that he went to Atlanta, him and his girlfriend went to Atlanta, and I'm trying to figure out how did they go to Atlanta, with really no money. When they went to Atlanta, who did they communicate with? Because from my understanding, there's some type of contact in Atlanta, um, mm, that is involved in this. But anyways, I digress. But their whole plan, I think when they came up with this plan, their whole plan was to have Cornelius to do the majority of what happened because Dolph was already hit when Cornelius jumped out, okay, and did it. And then it's like Straight Drop had to decide if he was going to get out, and I get to thinking about when I thought they played that news uh um video, and I was like, they were both running together. I believe what happened was maybe what we saw was them. I saw was them running back to the car because that's when they were both running together back to the car, right? Um, but what's so sad is I believe all of them concocted a scheme. Orange Mound quit, Straight Drop, because he said Straight Drop and Orange Mound quit was like brothers, and they decided we're gonna get this Negro because he a junkie, he on pills and stuff to do the majority of the work. Uh, and then we ain't gonna pay him. They intended to pay him like a crackhead, but instead he ended up cracking the whole case. Basically, he ended up because people had already been telling him they needed somebody that was involved to confirm it, and he cracked the whole case and gave them all of the intricate details. It's gonna be interesting though to see when all these other people names and stuff start to get added, right? So they ended up paying Cornelius Smith, according to him, only $800. And it goes back to what my friend was telling me that when Cornelius started singing like a canary, okay, he started singing in jail and was saying if they didn't do what they said they was gonna do, he was gonna start talking. If they didn't do it, if they didn't do according to him the right thing, he was gonna start talking. And so this explains why he was confiding in them because as he started to detox, okay, as he started to detox, he started to see that they played him like a funky piano tune. And so a Straight Drop now, I was told, but Cornelius said something else yesterday that when he sent the what they call it, the kite, when Straight Drop sent him the kite, Straight Drop asked him, was he gonna tell it? And he said in the letter, Straight Drop says, now this is what I was told. Cornelius said what it was yesterday. Straight Drop said, if you're gonna tell it, don't tell on me, but make sure you tell on Gotti and Juke. Now this is what the person has said to me. Okay. And so said Cornelius had said that his attorney told him to just tell the truth. So remember when I was throwing out hints, I was like, Cornelius' attorney don't give no interviews. He don't even really say nothing. He just kind of seemed disinterested at this point that I was throwing out hints. Hey, that basically I was told that he had told his client to just start cooperating. And so Straight Drop's attorney, being the slickster that he is, okay, he made sure he put out there into the atmosphere that um Cornelius was working with the feds, okay? Told his sister that his attorney told him to just work with the feds. That lets you know right there that there's a federal case going on, right? So it's gonna be more. It's getting more and more interesting. Hey, crime just don't pay. All they had a lust to take this boy out, and if people think that it started with Big Juke, then it's something wrong. It's something wrong. Big Juke was carrying out. I was listening to was it the Alabama hitter that says that Big Juke, he believes that Big Juke went ahead and put the hit on Young Dolph to help for the label, right? Um, I forgot how he said it verbatim, but I agree with that. He was definitely the enforcer, and everybody else was in agreement with it. Because after that, that's when we started seeing that labor go up, started getting $100 million loans, and it seemed like everything started to be grand. But how many people know what good is it for a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? And anything that's built on sand can never last. A house built on sand can't last because it wasn't built on a solid foundation. And anything that was gotten off of the back of taking out Young Dolph was not built on a solid foundation. So it ain't strong. It can't stand. It will not last. And to think that they took this man out for $800. Now I believe Straight Drop got more. I think they all, was like, just he a peel head, just he a crackhead, just give him, he a junkie, give him anything. Because they have been seeing him around the neighborhood, no telling what he wasn't doing for money. And so they had studied him and knew, right, that he would do anything for some money. They could treat him any kind of way. And so they decided he a junkie. We're gonna treat him like he a crackhead, but instead of being the crackhead and taking it like they thought that he would, because even Straight Drop told him, he said Straight Drop told him, you take the charges and let me go and tell on Orange Mound Quentin Juke. You tell it and let me go. That's when you really think that somebody is nothing. You take the charges. That's what they tell the junkies, the crackheads. You take the charges. Your life don't mean nothing. Cut me loose. Because they have been used to just giving him change and anything because he was a peel head. But instead of being a crackhead that they tried to treat him like thought he was gonna be, they tried to treat him like he was a crackhead. Instead, he ended up cracking the case. There's always a ram in the bush. It goes right back to what I've been saying from day one as it relates to the scripture that says, God says, they come at you one way and they flee in 7 different ways, right? In other words, they come at you one way and they start fleeing in 7 different ways. They start turning on each other and fighting with each other because God confuses the language. So they start scattering out and fighting with each other. Ain't that word true? And then God says, when I get them back for what they did, you're going to see me get them back. They taunted. They wanted to take out all of the artists. He said everybody had a price on their head because they wanted that label to be defunct. It was the legacy that they was after. He letting you know what it was. Each and every one of those artists. I told y'all Key Clark was next. I was told that they had gotten intel about that. That when they took Young Dolph out, the reason they had the vloggers, I know it's wishful thinking. That vlogger, that dude that came in there yesterday talking about ain't no vlogger, and I know who. I got a feeling of who it was. Ain't no vlogger gonna be indicted. The devil is a liar. Okay, it's wishful thinking. So this is why they have vloggers to immediately come on the scene and start going at Key Glock, because they thought they could raise the hate up on Key Glock so high that and make people think that he did this to young Dolph. They would have been able to say some crazed fan did this to him. You see what they started trying to do to Fabo? They thought that they could make a fool out of Fabo and pull on his tail to get Fabo energy to a point where he would go and take out his own ex-friend, right? And that's why you always heard me say, Fabo, I knew what they was doing. Focus on your music. Don't let them do it. Okay, do this, do that. I already knew what was going on, okay? Which is why these men came at me so tough, which is why I put all types of paper on their ass. Don't get me started, okay? I can't wait until they go down. All right. But the plan was to have Cornelius to take out young Dolph like he did, okay, and then treat him like a crackhead. But instead, he went ahead and cracked the case. Cause I told y'all when he was in jail. Remember, I did some hot tea saying y'all that they came and got Cornelius. It tells me that they came and got him. Okay, they came and got him and took him out of his cell. Okay, over to the federal building. I do believe I said. I have to go back and listen to it. And then I said, but they, they said he back in the cell later on. I said they brought him back. So that could only mean one thing, okay? Because I was told they took him out the building. They took him out of the jail. And so at that point, I believe Cornelius was having an epiphany. The same thing happened with Straight Drop. Now I see when Straight Drop's attorney. But see, Straight Drop wasn't taken out of the building. He was just taken up to the interrogation room, the visitation room for inmates. Okay, and they say when he walked in, the folks could be heard saying, "What you got?" And when I heard his attorney going going at Hernandez Govan, I knew at that point that Straight Drop was straight. And Cornelius said, he told him Juke and Hernandez Govan ain't messing with us. I knew at that point. See, Straight Drop wanted to still wanted to disassociate himself, but he did, and he wanted. It's a whole lot of stuff that went on with that. Okay, but he ain't talking now. Okay, because it ain't no way he can get away with what he did, and then he has such a Straight Drop is implicated in a whole lot of other stuff. Hernandez Govan and some of the rest of them. I do believe this witness that I was told about that's coming in from out of town. I don't know, in my spirit, I just kind of feel like it's Shondell Barnett, but I ain't got no confirmation on it. It just kind of sounds like it's him, but maybe not. They're implicating him in two other unalivings. So they definitely want to put the hammer down on him to make sure that he does not talk at all. But I'm gonna tell you what Straight Drop is gonna do, because I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm such a sensitive person to see a young man almost in a fetal position rocking. This right here should be an example to all young men. They had planned on screwing those young men. I don't believe Straight Drop got no 40,000 ain't enough to do nothing to nobody. 100,000, a million ain't either. What they had planned on doing, like I told y'all from the very beginning, was having Cornelius to take the blame. And when Straight Drop got to Indiana, they was going to take him out. It was going to take him out. Why on earth would they? They didn't even get half of the money. So they never intended on paying them. They never intended on paying them. But when the heat got on them, because we serve an awesome God, they had to end up spending the money on the lawyers anyways, because they never intended on doing nothing. They never intended on giving them a dime. Gave Cornelius 800. And so it's funny who's paying for the lawyers now, because his lawyer says CMG paying for your lawyer. He said, I don't know who paying for him. The lawyer knows CMG paying for the lawyer. Juk is no longer here. So who out of CMG was it that is paying for the lawyer? Is it that Atlanta Connect? That's Okay, let me stop. That's for the feds, okay? But who from CMG is paying for the lawyer? And Cornelius should have said, I don't know, you tell me who's paying you. More than likely, the same person that's paying you is paying for my lawyer, right? So Juke is no longer on the scene. I told y'all those lawyers are constantly having to get retainers fees. Who's paying? Juke is no longer here. Somebody's still paying. That's gonna be interesting. But Straight Drop's attorney went in on Orange Mound Quet because I'm sure whoever from CMG that is paying him is mad that Quet has told it. Cornelius put that out there. So of course he's gonna go in on Orange Mound Quet. Whoever is paying Straight Drop's attorney has told them to put the focus on Orange Mound Quet because they mad at him because they know now he been talking. Ain't no telling what went on. Now I'm trying to. It's just all types of stuff going through my head. Who took Teasy out? Because see, I told y'all Teasy didn't turn on Straight Drop. I told y'all I said Teasy was taken out because he saw how dirty they did Straight Drop, and he started talking because of how dirty they did Straight Drop, and he got knocked off. Now I get to wondering because Juke was going to be indicted. Who took him out? Now I was told that they came from out of town, but I don't know. It is a federal case going on, and I just think that people are so stupid. They don't know how to stop just insulting the intelligence of the federal government. Now it ain't no. I'm trying to figure out what then happened to the young man that took out Black youngster's brother. These little dudes act like they ain't got no darn sense because it seems like there's a rapper that's kind of been going up and getting interviews that wasn't before that he is now. And so these folks just don't learn. Straight Drop was promised $40,000, $50,000, gonna get 40 and a record deal. I told y'all, I said, y'all, it ain't normal now that this man started getting features with Moneybagg Yo's artists. Okay. But that was just to reel him in, right? That was just to finesse him in. Okay. And thinking of finesse, they said finesse just wants some beef. I think finesse wants some beef with somebody, so because his stock is gone down a whole lot, and he did it to himself. His popularity is all the way down. He said it ain't but three kings of Memphis. That's him, Gotti, and Elvis Presley. Now the mere fact that he would say Elvis Presley let you know he mentally ill, right? That he would even, I mean, they put Elvis Presley on the pedestal. Elvis Presley been dead 50 years. Okay. But it lets you know he wants some beef with somebody. He wants some beef so he can have a reason to like to do them like he done did honey help to do Honeycomb Brazy and Stupid Duke. He just gone crazy because he got to connect with the folks, that could help to put the people in the feds. Okay, he just gone crazy and don't know how to act. But don't y'all beef with him, child. Let him beef by himself. Okay, just go and let him beef by himself. But the plan was to have Cornelius to unalive young Dolph and then treat him like a crackhead. And he cracked the case because there's always a ram in the bush. It wasn't right. So everything that they did from that point was not right. God up in heavens knows, I wish they said they was on their way to Westwood to try to hit up one of his artists, which was more than likely gonna be Jay Fizzle, because that's who's from Westwood. For some reason, I wish that they had gotten to Westwood. Okay, because if they had gone to Westwood, they was gonna light them up. They was gonna tear them up. So y'all, if listen, Cornelius didn't say it. And maybe Straight Drop didn't tell him. If he went and got Cornelius, and that was he said he knew that there was a bag on everybody's head, and that every day from that Monday all that week they knew that there was they knew that the artists were there, And he said he knew he was gonna make some money because they was gonna hit one of them. So what makes you? I was told that they had their eyes on Young Dolph that Monday. He was there. So they was riding around looking. He didn't say it, but maybe he wasn't with Straight Drop that Monday. Maybe it was somebody else, but that's what I was told, and I really do believe it. They ain't had no reason to lie. So they was gonna hunt down somebody, one of PRE artists, and take them out. If they had got to Westwood, they would have aired that car out. Them dudes in Westwood would have aired them out. They went and got Cornelius. See, that's why he went and got Cornelius. Nobody else would have gone into Westwood. Talking about trying to pop out no artists. That's they went and got the crackhead. We don't go to Westwood, see if we can get near, he on pills and shit. See, if they pop back, it'll be him they hit. See if we can get him to jump out and they spray him up because that's what was gonna happen. But instead, it was just like somebody had initially told me. And I told y'all, I said, I don't know, this person is not law enforcement that they worked down there, said they heard that that they said that they was following him, and they just happened to see him pull into that cookie shop and say, hey, there you go, right there. And then they got him. So she was telling the truth. Okay. The other person, which was law enforcement, told me, nah, baby, they followed him, but didn't get too much into it. So it was truth. So that's why I never blamed the cookie shop. I told y'all, I said, y'all, I said to that person, I haven't blamed the cookie shop. And he said, good, baby, good, good. So you never heard me blame the cookie shop because they was basically telling me a lot of other stuff. Why wouldn't they tell me? They was telling me that other people was involved. Why wouldn't they tell me that the cookie shop was involved? So I was not getting ready to put those people's lives in danger. You had PRE that was right around around the curve in Castelia. If they thought that they had been involved, they would have went and aired the cookie shop out. I had a responsibility as a human being not to just try. I have integrity, okay, and I'm a human. So I was not get ready if nobody credible had told me that those people were involved, put those people's lives in danger because I'm bloodthirsty, because I want to see somebody run up in there and do something to that cookie shop, because that's what one of those investigators told me about a blogger. He said, they trying to the issue that's the issue what's going on with you, but another issue is we got an issue with they trying to get somebody to run up in that cookie shop and take them people out. That's why we can't stop watching them. So I was not getting ready to do it. Okay. But the plan was to have Cornelius Smith to unalive young Dolph, then treat him like he was a crackhead, but instead he cracked the case. Them prayers that Mia J was getting up doing every morning, they work, y'all. God says where two or three agree, where two or three agree, I'll be in the midst. I said, y'all, she can't miss because God says, I'm not a man where I shall lie, or the son of man where I have to repent. Okay. He says, my word shall go and prosper. Okay. So I knew that some things had to come to pass. This man lost his life basically for $800 and some Gucci North Face and a rented car. Okay. And it was not just Juke that was in on this. And that's why the feds are involved. Okay. That's why the feds are involved. It's going to be a lot of other ones to go down. And Straight Drop's attorney has already confirmed that the federal government is doing their thing. And Cornelius, according to him, is working with them. Okay. And I ain't mad. Anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App. Talk to you later.